Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here today. In today's world, technology is rapidly advancing, and with that progress comes new challenges for us in Congress, the federal agencies, and first responders at home. Unmanned aircraft systems become more prevalent in our daily lives. We must ensure that the safety and security of Americans are protected. This is particularly true for my district, which covers the greater New Orleans area, home to the Superdome. And I thank Mr. Crane for highlighting that we're a great place to have events. Safe, secure. We recently hosted the Super Bowl without incident, I might add. We have Final Four, Sugar Bowls, countless conventions and festivals. As I look forward and continuing to work on this committee on bipartisan legislation that empowers federal agencies and local governments to counter the threats drones pose. And as my dear friend, Mr. Kennedy, just said, we know that they're great applications. We also know that they're nefarious applications. And so we must continue to work to endeavor to amplify those positive ones and discourage the negative ones. Mr. Robbins, my district in the Gulf Coast will soon be in the most active period of the hurricane season. How do unauthorized and unidentified drones interfere with disaster response activities such as search and rescue missions, using helicopters or drones? And what are the potential consequences for survivor recovery and response safety given the new application?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Mr. Carter. And it's a serious problem. Ranking Member McIver mentioned it in her opening statement as well, as did Mr. Walker, the incident that occurred just a couple weeks ago down in Texas. In a similar situation during search and rescue disaster response, a unauthorized rogue drone collided with the helicopter. We had a similar incident in California last year when a scooper airplane was doing water distribution on a forest fire, also was struck by a drone. When that happens, it hurts public trust, it endangers lives, and it damages the reputation of responsible drone users across the country. And we have to do better. When there is an incident response like a hurricane or a wildfire or a flood, there's a temporary flight restriction put in place. There is technology available that should be able to restrict the flight from occurring if the operator is responsible and looking at technology that the FAA makes available to individuals who are operating these flights. And I also think it's important to distinguish between responsible commercial operators and those that are flying commercial off-the-shelf drones that maybe they bought on Walmart or you know.
Are these Walmart-type commercial drones that are purchased capable of being retrofit to do harm?
They absolutely are, sir. And the number one seller of those drones in this country is a Chinese company called DJI, which used to restrict their drones from flying in spaces like where there was a TFR in place or over an airport. And last December, DJI removed the geofencing on their drones, giving the operators, these are not typically commercial operators, sometimes they are, but oftentimes they're just random people who buy a drone and sometimes do stupid things with them. They've removed the geofencing, so now they can go into a zone like the helicopter incident in Texas that used to not be able until DJI changed their own rules.
How can UAS intervention mitigate the dangers of drones, particularly with the Port of New Orleans or major sporting events, as I mentioned? We know that these drones are large-scale public events, free parties, Mardi Gras. I mean, I'm deathly afraid of what could happen. How do we detect and mitigate the dangers of that?
Yeah, as mentioned, it's not a technology problem anymore. All three of these companies, as well as many other AVSI member companies, have technologies to provide a very complex, intimate portrait of the airspace to be able to distinguish between authorized drones and unauthorized rogue drones, and then as necessary, be able to take action, whether it's a kinetic or non-kinetic action against a drone to remove it from the unauthorized airspace.
Real quickly, because I've got about 29 seconds. Sure. What can local and state government do to augment what we're doing at the federal level and what you're doing? We have local players, our state police, our state sheriff, local sheriffs, and police
Presently, not
departments.
much. You can maybe find the operator and ask them to politely to land the drone. But until Congress extends and expands detection and mitigation authorities and allows for delegation to state and local law enforcement, unfortunately, those individuals, those great public servants, are left without many tools right now, and that's unfair to them and it's unsafe to Americans.
My time has expired, but I'd love to dig deeper into this, Mr. Chairman.
you, sir.
Thank you. At another time. Thank you.